This is one part that I always hated about gardening, was weeding.
Bill Orlowski may hate weeding, but he loves his garden tables, as he calls them, waist-high vegetable beds that make gardening easier for him.
I tell people, if you take gardening away from me, you just might as well just bury me now, you know, because that's, I live to garden.
Orlowski began to experiment with the waist-high beds last fall by growing cold weather crops in one bed. The success of those crops gave him all the encouragement he needed. He built more beds this winter, with this being the first full growing season for the beds and his first opportunity to test out how the crops would do in hot, humid Kentucky summers. Marshall County Extension Agent for Agriculture Lincoln Martin sees many advantages to the raised beds.
I can see this has a lot of application because it minimizes having to crawl around on the ground like an animal and makes it much, much simpler to see what you're doing and to manage and water and fertilize. And you know, you can see weeds up here before you can see them down on the ground. And as Bill told me one day, he was down on his hands and knees for quite a while and had to whistle his neighbor over here to help him get up.
Orlowski was already into growing vegetables in raised beds before, but not the waist-high variety. He modified some of those for his garden tables, which are 32 inches wide and 48 inches high. Even though there is potential to grow a variety of crops in these raised beds, some crops still need to be planted at ground level because of the heights they reach by harvest time.
But now things like tomatoes, peppers, I've got okra planted in that one row, and I've got cucumbers coming up on a trail. Them there you're just going to have to plant, on the ground. Because them tomatoes, if I planted them in here, I'd have to get a step ladder to harvest them, and I don't relish doing that. So there just are some things that's going to have to be planted at ground level now, and that's all there is to it. You just can't get away from it.
Orlowski makes his own dirt for his beds, or homemade dirt as he calls it, by using decayed leaves and other materials from this compost bin. He grows a little bit of everything from strawberries to green onions, and all the vegetables Orlowski grows, he and his wife Sue eat.
I wash it,
or she preserves them for future use. From the University of Kentucky College of Agriculture, I'm Jeff Franklin reporting.